All right, welcome back. We're going to butcher a chicken today. So keep in mind, this is how I want it done in class. Make sure you have your chicken, pat it dry, and be ready to go. I'm going to use the boning knife today, our utility knife. You can always use your chef knife as well. And so we're going to get started. So first thing I'm going to do is cut off these little wing tips. And if you find the cartilage, right there, right there, super easy. Okay, so cut both those off and make sure you can see. And I'm going to try to go a lot slower if you're following along with me. Okay, just the wing tips. That's it. Just take the wing tips off. All right, next thing I have to do is this one has a little extra fat and skin, so I'm going to trim a little bit of it off so I can see what I'm doing. I do want to warn you, we are making chicken breasts for our recipes this week, so we are keeping the skin on. Okay, don't take that skin off. Be careful. The next thing I like to do to start, and so that we can get these whole breasts off, is actually get that wishbone out. So you're going to want to find where the neck is, where the head would be, and find where that wishbone is. It's the V, comes out of V right here, okay? You can feel it with your fingers. Shouldn't be difficult. It's just like if you were to feel your collarbone right here, okay? Feel for it. It's very close to the top of the breast, and all you have to do is make a slice right on top. You know what? I'm going to use my paring knife for this. Right on top of the bone, just to expose that V, that wishbone that we need to take out. And all you have to do is now find that wishbone with your fingers. It's right there, I promise. You shouldn't go digging for it. And then I'm going to take it out gently with my fingers. You could dig it out with your paring knife or your chef knife, that's fine, but you want to do the least amount of damage to your breasts as possible, okay? So we take this wishbone out, gives us a couple more ounces on our breasts, our chicken breasts, where we're not running into this bone, okay? So I've released it, and it comes to a point at the middle. You guys can do this, I know you can. Try to slow down for you. All right, here's my wishbone, okay? You guys have seen this, Thanksgiving, you know, dry out. Okay, so that wishbone is gone now. All right, I'm gonna give you a second to catch up, find it. Of course, it takes me, I've done this enough times, so if you're following along and trying to go step by step, I'm gonna slow down a little bit. All right, so that goes right here. Slice, slice, pull it out. If it breaks, it's very small. It will break if you rough handle it, you know. Just get both pieces out. Just make sure you get all the pieces out. You can keep this bone, let it dry out and make a wish, or you can throw it in your stock. I'm gonna put it in my stock. All right, give you another minute. That first step will really help us get these breasts off of this chicken. All right. Speaking of, gonna get the breasts off the chicken. So first thing I'm gonna do is remove the skin. So I'm just gonna cut right through the skin, right here where the leg and the breasts are, right here, so that all the skin stays on the breast and I still have skin on my leg and thigh, okay? So I'm just gonna slice just through the skin, okay? Not through any of the meat. We don't wanna damage any of the meat. Okay, so I'm gonna make that slice, and then what it'll do is your legs will open up a little bit if you make that slice, okay? So I'll do it one more time over here as well. You see where the breast is and where their leg starts. There's a section right here, it's just a bunch of skin. You're gonna cut the skin. If you want all that skin on your breast, you wanna cut closer to the thigh as you can, okay? As close as you can. So I'm gonna make that cut very thin, right just through the skin, okay? And you can go all the way as far as it'll let you, almost to the back, okay? All right, so just through the skin. We're not trying to get through any of the meat just yet. All right, I'm gonna make sure that one goes all the way. All right, so that ensures that all our skin will be on our breasts. and my legs are free. Okay, yay, free. Now I'm gonna do it, everybody does it differently. I keep my legs on till last to just have some stability here, okay? So next we'll be taking these two breasts. There's two of them, right? One here, one here. All right, so we're gonna slice right down the middle, okay? Right down the middle to get 1 and 2, okay? First, just a thin slice to get through the skin, okay? And see our breast. Then we're going to be carving these breasts off of this rib cage, okay? So just through the skin, and then we're gonna start to carve it off, all right? So thin slice just through the skin, separate those two breasts. Remember, we learned a little while ago that the sharpest part of your knife is not right here. It's actually right here, okay? So if you keep poking at your chicken with this, you're gonna get a lot of little nicks and cuts in your breasts. Try using this part right here. That's where your sharper part is. All right, so you notice now, and I will show you, that I've cut just through the skin so you can see where it is we're making these cuts. All right, you can feel this, and you can feel where they're separated. All right, don't be afraid, get up all in there. All right, okay, so you can see and feel where they're separated. So now I'm going to start to slowly take this off of the rib cage. All right, I'm trying to do it at an angle so you can see. Long, smooth cuts are always gonna be better for you and give you less friction, less little nicks and cuts, okay? So the first thing I'm doing is cutting straight down until I can feel the rib cage, feel those bones on the bottom of my knife, okay? What you'll notice is now there's nowhere to go, can't go any farther down. Don't cut through that rib cage. So instead of going this way, now I'm gonna start going this way, but I'm going to go slow, smooth strokes to basically fillet it off of the rib cage, okay? So again, you don't have that wishbone up here on the top, so you can go all the way to the top. All right, you'll see that it's starting to come off with these thin strokes. I'm just gonna turn it. So hopefully you can see all the angles at which we're working. I also like to get the breasts in my hand. Okay, and just fillet the rest of it off of that rib cage, getting as close as I can to those bones, because the less meat on the bones, the better, the more meat I have on my breasts. All right, now it comes to the hard part for the airline breasts. Everybody thinks this is difficult. All right, so we've come to the top and we have this wing bone, okay? You need to follow this wing bone to where it attaches, okay? And that's where we're gonna make our cut. We want this wing bone on our breast. Yes, we are gonna have skin and a bone to make a beautiful supreme or airline breast. So follow this wing bone, or from this side you can see, follow this bone, and you're gonna make that cut right where, you shouldn't have to struggle with it, because right where the cartilage is, right where the two bones meet, is where you're gonna be able to make that beautiful cut and get that whole breast off. All right, I'm gonna put this whole carcass to the side and show you what we're doing to finish this breast up, okay? All right, so you have a wing on there, and you have this whole breast, and if you're wondering what this little piece here is that's hanging off, that's your chicken tender, okay? If you have a good, long, nice long piece, that means that it's not stuck on your carcass, which means you did a really good job, okay? So let's clean this breast up real quick. All right, where this wing bone, you have your wings. If you guys like, you know, you like your flappers or your drums, you got your little flapper here, right? All right, so pay attention. You have right here, okay? Just below this is where we're gonna make our cut, okay? I'm gonna try to make your life easy by showing you how to easily get this off and get a nice clean bone. All right, so this bone stays on your breasts, and just above it, we're gonna cut all the way through, skin, meat, and all, okay? We wanna expose the bone. And And what we're gonna do, and I usually, at this point, I'm got a lot of slimy, just chicken juices all over, so I'm gonna utilize a paper towel to help me with this part. All right, so I take my paper towel part so I can use it. All right, so all I'm gonna be doing is dislocating this bone and pulling all of this meat off. See, I just exposed the bone right here. There's no skin or bone. All we have to do, crack it and pull it off. So crack it. Okay, so just push it the opposite way. And then, see, it's slippery. That's why you need that paper towel. And then pull it off. All right. We'll try that again on the other side too. All right, so you have a nice clean bone. Got to clean up this little bit right here. All right, and then of course in my paper towel, there's my little wing, okay? So hang on to that wing, makes good food, right? Everybody likes wings. All right, and we just got to clean up this bone a little bit. It didn't all come off like I wanted it to, but it's just a little skin and cartilage. All right, so the point is this bone is for aesthetics, you know, nice chicken breast. It will lay flat. I'll show you some pictures today as well. Once it's cooked, and the bone will be nice and clean and sticking up. So this is your completed chicken breast. It needs to be like this for finals. All right, so we're gonna do the other one real quick, and that I'm gonna go backwards this time. So we review. All right, to get that nice clean bone off. All right. So just above where it connects to the breast, we're gonna make that cut, okay? All the way through till we can see and feel that bone. No skin, no meat. Okay, nice clean bone. I get through any tendons. All right, I can see my bone there. Take my paper towel and do it one more time for you. Keep forgetting to slow down, so if you gotta pause me. All right, so joint, we're gonna dislocate the joint and just pull all the meat and skin off, okay? Ready? We're gonna dislocate it, snap it back. Oh, that one was much easier. And pull all the skin. That's what I wanted to see. All right, so there's your little wing. There's your nice clean bone. I don't even have to clean it up with my knife. So maybe it does pay to do it before you take the breast off the skin. Got some more leverage, some more weight on there. All right, paper towels are useful for the slipperiness. Okay, so I have one more breast I have to take off. Okay, I'm gonna just make sure you guys see, took the first breast off. Okay, I have my bone, my other breasts. Okay, so I'm gonna take this and start carving it out right here where the cartilage is. Using that downward motion first. First, I gotta go straight down till I feel all those rib bones. Okay, when I feel the rib bones, I know I'm going from straight down to sideways, but more like carving it off of those ribs. Nice clean breasts. All the way through. Okay, found it. I'm at the top. So I can keep this bone intact. We just did such a good job making a nice clean bone. We got to make sure that we keep it on the breast. So locate where it meets. Find that sweet spot right between where the bones meet. And slice right through. If you're sawing at it or you're trying to get through a bone, you're never gonna, well, you might because you're strong. I'm strong. You got to find the place where the two bones connect and cut through the cartilage. So there's your other breasts, okay? I have my tender intact. So if you wanted to do chicken tenders for the kids, or you wanted to do anything you wanted to do with the tenders, now remember, tenders, just like a tenderloin on beef, this is the most tender piece, right? It's usually connected real thinly to your breast, but it sits right up under this cartilage, and it's just a muscle that never moves. That's why it's tender, okay? So nice little tender. I'll cut this one off to show you, and I'm sure you're used to seeing it looking like this. It's what your little tender looks like. You put these aside. Charge more for them to bread them and fry them because they're so good fried. But yes, chicken tenders. But more importantly, you have a nice breast. Skin is intact. We want nice crispy skin on our recipes today. Okay, so skin is intact, bone is nice and clean. You got a nice chicken breast, okay? You can always trim it up if there's a little fat around the edge or there's any cartilage that ended up being on your breast because you took it off of the carcass. You want to trim that off because you certainly don't want to be chewing on chicken cartilage. All right, so now I am going to move on to my legs. Okay, make sure you have a pan or something ready to put these parts and pieces in. It sucks running around the kitchen with chicken hands. I'll tell you what, mise en place is important. All right, for these legs, I want to show you taking the oyster out. It's probably going to be one of the most difficult things that we do, but I want to practice it with you. Okay, so in the back, okay, so this is your backbone. You have your thighs, okay? Down the back, I'm going to put it right side up so you can see. This is where the head and the breasts were, okay? Down the back, right here, there's these tiny little nuggets. That's called the oyster, okay? I'm going to teach you harvesting the oyster. It's another part very comparable to your chicken tenders, okay? They're tiny. You have to look. You really have to look for them. Okay, so locate them and find them in little circles. Okay, they're at the end of the thigh. So you got the oyster and the thigh. Okay, so the easiest way for me to get them is to cut right between, because there's one here, you can see it. One here, okay? Cut right down between and right above, and I'll show you harvesting them, okay? So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut through the skin, and I'm gonna feel the carcass or the backbone, okay? And then I'm gonna cut through the skin again, just so I can locate those oysters. So making that cross cut, that cross section, okay? And now I have one here, and they're still connected to my thighs. That's my goal, all right? So again, utilizing just slicing into it, kind of like we did for the wishbone. Just slice in and utilize your finger. I use my finger to get this bad boy out, okay? Thumb or index finger. You'll see that it sits in this little pocket that looks just like an oyster shell. I don't know if you see that. Okay, so there's the bone where it sits, and here's the oyster, okay? Now all we have to do is disconnect the thigh and make sure we're not cutting into that oyster. It's that easy. I know you'll get it. All right, so the best way for me to disconnect this thigh is to actually pop it out of socket. So I'm gonna take heavy hand, take this thigh and take the rest of the carcass and just pop it out. You'll see where this bone pops out, and that's how you know where to cut. You don't have to cut through any bones, it's just right here, right at the end of your oyster, where the thigh bone connects to your rest of your carcass. And it's that easy. So now you have a quarter. It's a leg thigh quarter. Okay, clean off. I'm gonna put this to the side and show you real quick. Leg and thigh, there's a little bit of more skin on there. So you have a leg and a thigh, and your oyster is right here at the end. Okay, still connected. And all you have to do to get your drum, your leg, and your thigh separated is cut right here, okay? Right here where, see that? It shouldn't be hard. Remember, if you cut between the bones, you'll get right through, okay? So that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna disconnect the leg and thigh. Just thin slice right through, okay? You'll be able to see, and then you know you did it right if you can see almost like an 8, 2 circles right there and right there. Okay, leg, thigh, easy enough. We're gonna do that one more time for you, okay? I'm gonna start with that oyster again, okay? It sits in this little pocket here, looks like an oyster shell. You can't tell until you actually get it out. Okay, so that's this meat right here. Make that thin slice, okay, just to expose it. Get it real close to the bone, okay? All I'm doing is just getting it out, and then I'm gonna utilize my finger because I don't want that meat to be cut in half or cut apart. So it's pretty delicate, just like a tender is. All right, so I got that oyster. This oyster is pretty small. And then I'm gonna do what I just showed you. Again, is to take hold of this thigh, and take the rest of your carcass. You're gonna snap it out, okay? You're gonna see this bone, your thigh bone, the end of the thigh bone, exposed. And that's where you make your cut to take it off of the carcass. Okay, I'm gonna put the carcass to the side again. So again, oyster, thigh, leg. A little extra skin here and there, that's not a bad thing, especially for fried chicken. Tell you what. So now I'm just gonna take the thigh and the leg, and again, right there in the middle where they meet is where I'm making that cut. If you're having to saw through and you're hitting bone, adjust and make sure you're in the right spot, okay? Feel for it first. Make that cut right through, okay? Got a nice leg, got a nice thigh. All right, thigh, we're gonna keep our skin on for now. If you sear it, that crispy skin is really, really good. I'm gonna keep the skin on for right now. Last thing I wanna show you very quickly, two things, is taking this thigh bone out, because what I wanna do is have some boneless thighs, okay? So all you have to do is take this one bone out, very simply, slice. You can see and feel the bone, just like we've done a couple other times. Slice to expose that bone, and you can actually, should be able to pull it out. If you can't, utilize your knife to dig it out, but try your best to keep that thigh intact. Many of you have worked with thighs already, so you know. And if that bone's not coming out because there's too much cartilage or connective tissue, that's fine. You can easily just cut it out. Now don't throw this bone away and put it right into your stock. I actually have a stock pot ready because we're gonna make some chicken stock out of this. So got my bone, I'm gonna throw it right into my stock pot. Now I have a boneless chicken thigh, okay? Last but not least is this carcass. We're gonna be making chicken stock out of it, okay? So there's a little bit of skin and fat left on it, okay? The skin and fat, take off now. You don't wanna be skimming it all day, and you don't wanna be having to get rid of a lot of fat from your finished stock. So it's easier and faster while you're here, while you're doing this now, is to take that fat and that skin off so that you have a more clear, less cloudy, beautiful chicken stock. All right, let's just clean it up a little bit. So it's just, you know, bones and meat, bones and a little bit of meat, some cartilage that'll break down and make nice gelatinous stock for us. All right, so no skin, just the bones. All right, and we're gonna put it into our stock pot. That's gonna be the next video, is making chicken stock. All right, so the skin we don't need, but I will need you to present for me your breasts. Make sure you put your breasts out. This is for your pictures. Now I'm addressing my class directly. Your legs, your thighs that are gonna be boneless, okay? Your legs, your thighs, your little wings. Make sure you take a picture of your wishbone for me too, so I know, okay? So spread it all out, take a picture, so I know how well you did. All right, thank you.